2020 and the start of 2021 were certainly challenging times for all of us. We got a chance to work inside. We got a chance to reflect. We got a chance to do things that sometimes we didn't get a chance otherwise to do. For me, I put together a home office. So it's a smaller room, but it's going to be perfect for this office. And the whole intent of having an office is somewhere where I can put the computer and leave it. I also want it as kind of an animal room where I have an enclosure for, I don't even know right now, dart frogs or geckos. What I'm getting to is this room is going to be set up for, again, social media and YouTube. We'll be doing a lot of YouTube videos in this room, more of the talking head, talking about educational things, but we'll also be having showcases here. So I want to have an area where I can put in an enclosure for geckos with 3 sides. So I can bring up the geckos up to this room. I can take some pictures for our website, but I can also do the YouTube videos as well. As you can certainly see, we had plenty to do over this last year and a half. We put together the office. There was a lot of work there. We also put together a fish rack, and this was a lot of fun. But there was just something missing. Now, this fish rack really took a lot of our time and kept me occupied for the most part. I love seeing these fish in the room. Here's a look at our whole office as it stands today. We've got the fish rack, we have the work area, beautiful, beautiful view out the window. We have another fish tank ready to go, but look at this, an empty space. Now, don't get me wrong, I just absolutely love this space, but something's missing. We're Supreme Gecko, and there's no geckos. It's got to be that empty space. What can I put there? What can I put there? There's got to be something that I can fill that empty space with. There's the fish tank, and that's really cool. We'll work on that at some point, but look at that empty shelf. Okay, time to get busy because we have a lot of work ahead of ourselves. Let's do a bioactive setup. That's what we need. We can do a bioactive setup, set it up, and then I can put geckos in there. What's going to be great about this setup is that I can use it for photography and for video recording for YouTube. This is going to be fantastic. I just happen to have a 24 by 24 by 24 enclosure handy. It was empty. It's ready to go. So we got all the supplies together. The first step is to clean this tank out. We're taking all of the old substrate out. We've already scraped the glass. Well, I should say Nanette's already scraped the glass. What an amazing person Nanette is. The next step is to lay down a drainage layer. It can be about an inch, inch and a half. You can use a lot of materials. We use a turfus material. It's a high-fired clay material. It works perfect. Now, we're going to put down the barrier, and I'm cutting out the barrier here. You can use many different types of materials. We use a window screen material. Works perfect, and that's putting it into place. We just measured by measuring the top of the tank and made it about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch bigger than the tank. Now we put in the substrate, and this is a mix of dirt, worm castings, Zillow Jungle mix, just a perfect mix of substrate. Well, we came up a little bit short and had to mix a little bit more, and that's leveling it out. And here you can see it's about 2 inches deep, somewhere around 2 inches deep. Thanks, Nanette. That looks like about 2 inches. We have the substrate complete. Now it's time to put the decorations in. We're going to try this piece of cork bark. It's a little bit large. It's larger than the height of the enclosure. Now that we put in the substrate, tried to lay it down, it just doesn't seem like it's fitting whatsoever. And it's really a monstrosity type of piece. So we're going to take that out, try a different type of cork bark. This is a little bit smaller. I actually wound up breaking this in half and used only half of it. And that's putting in the wood. We've got a piece of bamboo and just a branch that we found on one of our isopod searches one time. Now that we know approximately where that cork bark is going to sit, we can put in the plants, we can put in all kinds of other materials to make this bioactive. The leaves go in, the sphagnum moss goes into the corner. We wet the sphagnum moss, we put in the isopods. This is our cleanup crew. This was Armadillidium vulgare punta cana. We put in some cork bark. We put in some decaying wood. I think we're all set. And here's our final product. I think this really turned out well. I think that this will be a perfect photography enclosure and video recording enclosure. Here's a pictus. I think it works great. What do you think? Is the office complete? I think so. I have a place to do my videos for YouTube, and now I have a place to do some recording of geckos. I think that space looks perfect. I'll move geckos up to this tank as I'm going to do YouTube videos. In the meantime, I'm not sure what to put in this tank. What do you think? Well, we do have one more step, and that's to put a light on. And I think we're all set. I'm going to go ahead and put up a playlist of all the geckos that we have YouTube videos for, but thank you very much everyone for watching.